name is Julie Christie. I'm a registered yoga teacher, and I wanted to provide you with a short tutorial on crow pose. So I do understand what you think when you hear the words crow pose. It's anxiety provoking, but it's exciting at the same time. It's definitely a cool pose to learn. If you've developed the core strength, I say why not give it a try, see what happens. But I get the fear of falling. So pillows and blankets. Surround yourself with pillows and blankets, and don't just assume you're gonna fall forward. You may fall to one side or the other, but the thing about crow pose is you are lower to the ground than a lot of poses where you could fall out of. So you are low to the ground, but pillows and blankets, no shame in that. That's how I practiced for a really long time before I felt more secure in the pose. So we're gonna try to enter through two different ways. So the first thing I'll show you will be through squat pose, and that's how I first learned the pose, entering through squat pose. And when you do this entry, the leg is going to be on the outside of the upper arm. And we'll go over this and you'll be able to see it when I demo. So that's how we'll do from squat pose. And then from standing forward fold, the knee is going to be as close to your armpit as possible. So we won't be doing it from the outside of the upper arm anymore. We'll be aiming towards the back of your upper arm, which is gonna hopefully change things up a bit for you. So I just wanna tell you my experience. So I was able to hold crow pose from squat pose. So I was in the pose, but I just could not get the lift off. And by that, I mean I felt scrunched up. And I couldn't get my bottom higher up in the air. I couldn't get my heels closer to my bottom, and I just felt stuck there. So once I learned entry through a standing forward fold, knees to armpits, that all changed. I was able to get so much more lift, and I think you're gonna see that when you watch me practice, and maybe that'll, happen to you in your practice. So do what you can, take breaks as needed. You might wanna take breaks in between these. And don't be surprised if today you don't get much hang time. You might just kind of be tapping your toes on the floor and getting a tiny bit of hang time, and maybe just one foot comes up today and not the other. And that's okay, because that's a big deal too. This is all about engagement of the core. I know it's called an arm balance pose, but it's really the core doing the work to get you that lift. All right, let's just give it a try. And I never know what's gonna happen until I try. All right, so stand up. We're gonna head to squat pose. Inhale the arms up by the ears. And you're just going to heel toe out. Hands are gonna come through heart center. You decide how you like your squat pose. Toes and feet angle out away from your body. Go low, drop the hips, chest up, chin up here. So the great thing about entry through squat pose to crow pose is you know exactly where the hands go. They come out, and that's where they go. So, couple of options. You can either plant the palms first, and then rock forward with the upper body, and just worry about, what your feet are doing, trying to get a little hang time. Or, you could rock back, which I kind of like to do, giving you some momentum, space between my palms and the floor, and then rock it forward and go for it. That momentum can also be scary too. I understand the more momentum you have, the more likely you are to keep going forward. So your choice. Let's try it with the palms down first. So my palms are planted, spread the fingers wide. Rock forward with the upper body. See if you can get some hang time with the feet. So you might not get both up. You might have one foot down or toe down, and the other one just kind of does this tap, tap, tap. So just see what happens. You're not going to know unless you try. So this one is space between your palms and the floor here. So I've got a little momentum to rock forward, bring it up, rock it back. If you're new to the pose, do not worry about your feet getting close together, but if you get some good hang time, the next step is to bring the feet close together. Just remember that your leg is on the outer part of your upper arm up here. Decide if you like to plant the palms and go for it here, or if you like to rock back, then go for it. Maybe the toes can come to touch. Breathe. Rock it back. Let's try it with the block. So, the block is going to go behind us as a little perch. You don't have to stand up on the block and get into your squat pose like that. We can just stay low. So, just get your feet on your block. And I do like to angle the feet out a little bit. So just go ahead and go into your squat pose if you can. You're on the block. So now we're starting from a little higher. I still got my knee on the outside of my upper arm here. And decide if you want to rock with the palms down or if you like this little momentum where they're up and then rock forward. Breathe. Engaging the core. Think about lifting your bottom in the air. Maybe the toes touch, maybe not. And rock it back. You do not have to rock it back on the block. All right, so as I was saying, I felt really scrunched up in the pose when I was trying it that way. I could hold it, but I couldn't get the lift. So then at some point I learned about entering through standing forward fold. So that's a very different entry. We're going to give that a try, but we are no longer having the leg on the outside of the upper arm. It's knee to the back of the arm, as close to your armpit as you can get it. Get rid of the block. Standing forward fold. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe just grab opposite elbows, rock a little side to side. All right, you don't have as much direction as far as where the hands go, because in squat pose, you just plant the palms and there they are and you're ready to go. This is a lot of trial and error. So walk the hands out in front. I usually start with fingertips. And I rock forward and really bring my heels up. Bend deeply in the knees. And maybe I'm going to walk my feet closer to my hands. I'm trying to aim my knees for my armpits, and I like to bend in my elbows to help me get there. And again, you might start from here, planting the palms, rocking forward and bring the feet up, or you might lift up the hands, then come down, rock it forward, and lift. Point the toes if you can, round in the spine, heels towards your bottom, breathe. And rock it back. All right, let's try it with the block. So you don't have to come all the way up to stand. You can just get your feet on there. And think about your forward fold, but you really want the balls of your feet to be secure on the block. You're coming up with the heels. I kind of walk the hands out to make contact. Bend deeply in the knees, bend in the elbows. See how close your knees can get to your armpits. So mine are like in my armpits now, but usually when I shift forward, my knee will go down a little bit on my arm. That's okay, just make sure it's at the back of your arm. Here we go. Rock forward. See what you can do. Maybe point the toes to get a little lift. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And you don't have to go back to the block. All right, so I'm excited to know how this goes for you. Make sure you look at the description in the YouTube video. So underneath all the YouTube videos is a description, and I'll be giving you some more cues to get into crow pose. So let me know how it goes. Thanks, guys. Namaste.